Are you wasting your money on digital PR? That is going to be the topic of this episode of Ask Aaron. Let's get into it. So look, I know a lot of brands right now are asking that and similar questions when it comes to digital PR. And I just wanted to share my thoughts on it and give a perspective as an agency owner, as an agency that does digital PR. We love digital PR, but I am, as most people know in the industry, a bit of a cynic, and I've stood on some of the biggest stages in our industry and spoken about digital PR. So have a lot to say on the matter. Now, firstly, as I said at the start, digital PR, it is fantastic. It's a hugely effective way of increasing your brand prominence. Now, here at Evergreen, we don't call it digital PR, we call it promotion because it better reflects our approach, frankly. And you know, as a topic, as a discipline, digital PR, to give you a bit of background, digital PR, I guess, evolved out of link building. So to give you a bit of background, which will help you with a bit of context as to where we are today. Go back, SEOs, the Landover, used to build links in a myriad of different ways. Links are a key top 3 ranking factor of how websites, brands increase their visibility on search engines, so hence their importance. Essentially, there was 101 ways you could build links or earn links back in the day. Those, as is often the case when it comes to anything digitally, got spammed to death. And then, 6-7 years ago, started the rise of digital PR. So the mid sort of 2010s, digital PR, or essentially it was PR, it was SEOs using PR and top tier media outlets and industry leading publications as a way of securing links, securing features, getting press coverage, and ultimately increasing their brand awareness. And like with most evolutions, in the early days, it was fantastic because hardly anyone was doing it. It worked a treat. And it was almost, if you were a brand on the receiving end of that and you were being featured in these publications, it was great because most weren't. The other 99 brands weren't getting it. So if you were getting it, it was a clear differentiator between you and everyone else. And it was brilliant. And those early adopters, of which I was not one, I've stood up a stage in front of 3,000 people and said that I was not one. The early adopters, they really did very, very well out of it, as did, the agencies, the freelancers, the marketers doing that, and then the brands who were ultimately benefiting from those links, from that brand awareness. Amazing. Now, as everyone started to get more into it, it started to become more mainstream, lots of agencies started to jump on the bandwagon, everyone started to ultimately do it. Everyone, Evergreen included, we all created a digital PR team, department. What that inevitably leads to, and we've seen this so many times over in the marketing industry and all industries, is as everyone jumps on the boat, inevitably the thing starts to sink. So and that's kind of been what's happened to a degree. Now there are some agencies out there, I'm not going to name any names, that are brilliant at it, absolutely amazing, and there are others less so. Now, one of the things that, as from a brand, if you're a brand watching this and you're asking the question, well, look, that's all well and good, Aaron, but am I wasting my money on digital PR? The easiest way to answer and the way to think about it is, look, what is the purpose of digital PR for your brand? Because, is it that you just want to increase brand awareness? Is it that you want to be out there and you've got your dream publications, you say, look, I want to be on these because you know that your target customer read those publications? Fine. Is it alternatively that you want to promote a specific product, a specific service, something very, very, very specific that you've identified within your marketing strategy that you want to do it? Because if it's one of those two, that will really dictate the type of strategy you should be deploying, the type of activity that you should be going down. And I guess what really kind of grinds my gears when it comes to digital PR is that so many agencies have jumped on the bandwagon and have started to do it, and they've essentially kicked relevance to the curb. And they've just gone after, let's just go after what's clickbaity. Let's put a story together. Let's do a survey. Let's do a poll. Let's run some stats where it comes up with a great headline, but then you look into the data and they've asked 25 people. It's these kind of surveys and polls and statistics that really grinds my gear. And then you actually look at the story that's running and then you tie it back to the brand that it's running for, and there's just no relevance. You kind of go, well, what's the link here? What's the relevance between that story and that brand? And that's what we've seen happen a huge amount in the late 2010s and the late 2010s and the early 2020s. That happened. It was huge. It was massive. And I was very anti that because for me, the way I've always approached PR, promotion, and we're not a PR agency, but the way I've always acquired links or earned links for our brands has been relevance first, always. And for me, when I was seeing more of and that's one of the reasons why I got up on stage and was talking about, because I was just like, look, this bubble is going to burst when it comes to journalists being prepared to run stories that then tie back to a brand that has no correlation or relation to the story that it's running. And what has proven to be the case, exactly that. So are you wasting your money on digital PR? If you're a brand that's doing that, that's running stories, running campaigns where you sort of look at it and go, yeah, there's not really much of a tie back to our brand, then the answer is yes, you probably are wasting your money, even if it is getting you links, because Google now, the playing field has been leveled when it comes to now most brands, well, I say most, a high proportion of brands are now in these publications because everyone's been focused on getting in them now. So it's what we're seeing. One of the reasons we call what we do promotion is we do we've got access to the databases. We do get links every week on all your top tier media publications. We do get all the industry specific stuff, but we're also doing some old school fashion link building outreach where it's really niche. These sites don't have the authority, but in terms of relevance and in terms of being industry specific and super relevant to that target customer, they hit the mark. Those links are now becoming what the PR links became 8-9 years ago, which is they're the ones that not everyone else has. So are you wasting your money when it comes to digital PR? If you're focused on relevance, no. If you're focused on you've got a link target, God forbid, if you've got link targets and you're going out just trying to hit link numbers, then it's very likely the pressure you'll be putting on your agency or whoever's supporting you, internal, external, it's likely that activity is going to be, you're trying to push water up a hill. You're trying to you're focusing on the wrong metrics, and that can mean you can end up wasting money. So talk to brands, and I'm seeing a lot of people where they are spending a lot of money on digital PR, and their metrics they're using to judge the success of that is the number of links, and it's just, I'm kind of like, you're still doing that in 2023, like so outdated, so old school, shouldn't be doing it. A great way to think about it is if you are a brand and you are doing digital PR, promotion, link building, whatever, if you know that your site lacks authority and there's a genuine reason you've got a product, you've got a service, and you want to get that product in front of people, best way to do it, and that ties in relevance, is to think, what would we do if Google didn't exist? Would we want that link? Would we want that feature? Would we want to get that coverage? Would we want to be on that website or on that blog or featured in that way or referenced or mentioned on that title if it was not for Google, but it was actually because we know our target customer is reading that publication or is on that website or is on that blog? Because if you can answer yes to that, then you know it's relevant, then it's not money wasted, then it's going to be a great link, it's going to be a great feature, and it's going to help you, it's going to have longevity and be a leveraged asset that you can take forward and that you can will have some genuine value to your thing. And that's how we approach everything internally here, is we look at the brand, we understand, right, what does the brand crucially want? Is it just brand awareness, or is it getting in these key titles because they are specific on a product or a service? And then from there, we then identify the key titles and we ask ourselves the question, would we want that link or that feature or whatever it is, if Google didn't exist? Because if the answer is no, then you're doing it probably for the link authority or because you just think, oh, well, we should be on this title. But actually, if you can go, yes, we absolutely would, because I can evidence it that my audience is on there, or I've got a good, a hunch, a good feeling, I know from the competitors or whatever that my audience is on there, then it's very likely the chances of it being a really great link and money well spent as part of your marketing budget increases dramatically. So that's just my take on it. It can and often is a great investment. So it's just, if you are approaching it with this kind of philosophy of link numbers and thinking, I've got to have a campaign go viral and I've got to get loads of link volume rather than link relevancy, then it's a very, very slippery slope. Hope it's useful. Love to know what you think in the comments to let me know. If you found this useful, or if it's resonated, or if you found it relevant, then please do give us a like. I'd very much appreciate that. And if you haven't already, subscribed to the YouTube channel, because we're getting started with this. We're still very early on into our YouTube journey. I'm loving it. I've got thousands of ideas. And we're going to start keep pushing that stuff out, and I'm trying to make all of these as reflective as I can of how we work, how we talk to prospective clients, how we talk to our existing clients, and just give you insights into our approach, because we just love to keep things simple, explain things in a very logical, non-techie way. And I hope you, the viewer watching this, like our clients, you sort of walk away going, yeah, that kind of makes sense. That's kind of common sense. Because I know if I'm doing that, if you're listening to this, nodding away, thinking, it kind of makes sense, then I know I'm doing the right thing. And hopefully I'm helping you to sort of see the wood for the trees. And that is my aim for this YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. We'll speak soon on the next one. Take care.